Welcome back to the channel for the Gameweek 12 team selection, after a score of 53 points and a rise up to 45,000. Nick Pope ended a run of 3 games without a clean sheet as Newcastle held Man United to a goalless draw. The Reece James injury forced a change in transfer plans, seeing Ivan Perisic come into the team rather than Mark Gahey, although both players kept a clean sheet in Gameweek 11. Spurs restricted Everton to just 0.68 XG, with only West Ham and Leicester faring better on that front. It was a poor showing from the midfield this week, with Andreas Pereira getting the only return. Starting the Brazilian ahead of Alexander Mitrovic proved costly, after the Serb made a surprise return to the starting lineup, but only to the tune of 2 points lost. Dominic Solanke was the hero up front, playing a direct hand in both of his side's goals for a second week running. The Cherries forward scored from what was his first big chance of the season, with that strike carrying an XG of 0.28. So let's move on to discuss the transfer plans for Gameweek 12. James Maddison has put a spanner in the works. He's suspended after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season in stoppage time against Crystal Palace. Thankfully, 2 free transfers are available to help clear things up, and my intention is to use both of them. Jared Bowen is a player that I've been extremely tempted by in recent weeks, particularly after his recent flurry of goals and the confidence that has brought him. But I'm going to instead opt for Leandro Trossard as my Maddison replacement, with the intention of then selling him on to Phil Foden in Gameweek 13. Over the last 3 game weeks under new manager Roberto De Zerbi, Trossard ranks joint top with Mo Salah for big chances amongst midfielders, each with 4. His tally of 8 shots in the box trails only Bowen and Foden with 9 apiece. Nottingham Forest have shipped 9 goals in the last 4 game weeks, with only Fulham conceding more. Kevin De Bruyne will be the other player to make way. He's the one that I'm most content with selling from my 4 combined Arsenal and Man City players. As mentioned, my plan is to free up that 3rd City slot to target Foden in Gameweek 13, who looks to be far greater value for money, given that we'll never really consider either of them for captaincy while Haaland is around. Mo Salah will be the 2nd player I bring in for Gameweek 12, following his match-winning goal against Man City. The Egyptian lined up in a central role alongside Roberto Firmino, rather than the wide position he's been used in predominantly so far this season. Confident from his hat-trick against Rangers midweek, he made numerous runs in behind, and found himself with 2 big chances and a match-leading figure of 1.2 expected goals. So those are my 2 planned transfers ahead of Tuesday's Gameweek 12 deadline, and here's how the team is set to line up. Newcastle ranked 3rd best for expected goals conceded per game over the last 4 game weeks, with only West Ham and Aston Villa faring better. They host an Everton side that have recorded the 4th lowest XG in that time, 0.78 per game, ahead of only Crystal Palace, Wolves and Southampton. Amongst defenders, Kieran Trippier has fashioned the leading tally of 11 attempted assists in the last 4 game weeks. Only Ivan Perisic can better the England right-back for expected assists. I'm far from confident in a start for the Croatian against Man United, but my reasoning behind bringing him in last game week was for his combined potential over the next 5 game weeks. Similarly, I'm not expecting much from Nico Williams or Emerson, although the pair both returned to the starting lineup for their respective teams in Game Week 11. Serge Aurier appears to have picked up an injury, while West Ham are struggling for centre-backs, and may decide to stick with their 3-4-3 formation for the trip to Anfield. Joining the 2 new recruits in midfield is Wilfried Zaha, who operated in a fairly wide position in the 0-0 draw with Leicester. He's failed to register a big chance in the last 4 game weeks, having amassed 5 of them across his first 5 appearances of the season. Andreas Pereira has provided a goal and assist across his last 2 outings, with 4 goal involvements in total this season. Saka, Bowen, De Bruyne and Maddison are the only midfielders able to better his tally of 8 attempted assists over the last 4 game weeks. Alexander Mitrovic revealed he'd played through pain on his return against Bournemouth, but the Serb has 5 days rest before the visit of Aston Villa on Thursday night. He's notched 5 goals across his 5 appearances at home so far this season, averaging 7 points per game. Only Erling Haaland has been afforded more than his 7 big chances in home matches. Dominic Solanke completes the team on the back of his recent uptick in form. All 6 of his goal involvements this season have come during his last 5 appearances, where he's averaged 7.2 points per game. Southampton are the only side yet to keep a clean sheet this season. They've conceded the second highest expected goals total over the last 4 game weeks, with only Fulham faring worse. We've finally got a decision to make when it comes to captaincy in Gameweek 12, with Erling Haaland out of action. Leandro Trossard and Alexander Mitrovic are both in the conversation for me, but it's Mohamed Salah that I'm most drawn to as things stand. West Ham have fairly strong defensive numbers over the last 4 game weeks, but it's those centre-back injuries, as mentioned earlier, that are swaying me towards Salah. Liverpool will take confidence from their win over Man City, and I'm expecting the Egyptian to continue playing in this more central striker role.